Okay, right, we're going to do the torsional vibration absorber. What we've got here is big disc, oscillates, okay, it's got a natural frequency, and we're going to calculate that. And if we just, so we're twisting the beam at this end and exciting the natural frequency of the rotor. Now you can see on the screen that as we increase the frequency, we will approach no idea how to do that. Pause. Okay, so we're getting quite large oscillations here. If we approach the natural frequency, we get even larger oscillations, as you can see on the red waveform. Now, you can see that clearly there. It's not as obvious with the waveform, we'll come back to that in a minute. So that's around its natural frequency, right? So around there. So you can see at that frequency, we're getting large oscillations. If I just turn it off now. Okay, so what I've done is I've connected up my vibration absorber, which is the setting disc. If I start it up again now at the same frequency, we will see that with a little bit of fine tuning that we're going to get zero oscillations at this disc here, because this is absorbing all the oscillations at that previous frequency. Now we should get a flat line here, but just a little bit of adjustment. There. Okay, that disc is not moving at all, and you can see we have a flat line up here, so the vibration absorber is working. So now we're going to go back and just do the calculations for that. Okay, so we're just going to revisit this now. So we have our disc, okay, it's fixed to one shaft. We're going to excite it here. You can excite it like that and see what the frequency is. But we're going to calculate it now. Okay, so you guys are going to do that. And now what we're going to do is, once you've calculated that, guys, we're going to take a notional pause here. I'm not going to actually pause the video, but now we're going to see what the natural frequency is. Okay, so we've calculated the value, and then what I'm doing is I am increasing the frequency of the oscillation here that's driving the disc, and we try and figure out when we think the natural frequency is. So we're just using a readout here, so it's feed forward, so it wouldn't necessarily be bang on. So again, similar kind of errors that we might have had before, but it's just certainly gives an indication. So we're seeing, hopefully we see on a screen that the red oscillations are getting bigger, and we're approaching around 6 Hertz now. I think we should have a value around 7 Hertz. What you can probably hear there is a bit of clicking there, because it's hard to run it at the actual natural frequency, because the oscillations are quite vigorous. But we'll just try that again. Okay, that's reading about 6.18 hertz, okay? So we're going to take that as being the natural frequency. Now, we're going to do a calculation with the vibration absorber equation to find out what length this needs to be at to absorb the vibration. So you guys are going to do that. It's going to be Q2, okay? So we're going to get that. So I'm not going to tell you what that is, but I'm going to just put it in, and we have it at the correct length now. And again, we're just going to show how the vibration absorber works. That I've just stopped the machine at the natural frequency where we saw those oscillations, right? And with a little bit of tweaking, we'll see that at the previous frequency at which it was oscillating quite vigorously, there are now no oscillations. So just going to get that running again. Okay, so we're looking at the red line there, which is almost a flat line, and we can see that's barely shimmying. And we can tweak it a little bit just to get that to almost zero. Just a little bit. Okay, now that's as close to it. That's not moving at all, and we're completely flat line there. And we can see then that the vibration absorber is taking absorbing all the energy, if you like. So it's working. So the vibration absorber is working. That's showing me a frequency of about 7.17. So that was the original natural frequency of the system. Now, with a vibration absorber system you've gone from a 1 degree of freedom system to a 2 degree of freedom system. So what we're going to do, okay, so what we're going to see is what the new natural frequencies are. You're going to solve the quadratic equation, and I'm going to do a frequency response, and we're going to see, can we see from this system when the natural frequencies are. So we're going to just turn everything off again. Okay, let it slow down. And I'm going to start it up and start sweeping up. So original natural frequency is around 7. I'm expecting the new natural frequencies will be around 5, around 5-ish and around 9. You guys are going to calculate that though for me. So I'm going to start. Okay, so now I'm starting about 1 hertz, and we're going to look for a response, a resonant response around 5 hertz. Okay, you can almost kind of hear it building up to it there. Now, okay, so that's about 4.8. I'm not quite there yet. It's more that you hear it. You can see now that this one is giving the greatest. The blue line is giving me the greatest. So around 5.0. Okay, that's clearly a resonance there. Now hopefully I can wind your print screen here. This might work. No, it didn't. Okay, so we clearly have a resonance there. It's around 5 hertz. It's very hard to hold it at the natural frequency, but if I go beyond it, you can also see that the waveforms are in phase, and that there's a gain on that one over the blue one's bigger than the red ones, and we see that when we do amplitude response. So let me just go beyond this natural frequency. Okay, so we're clear of that natural frequency. Okay, then it settles down, and we're approaching the original natural frequency where we've zero movement around 7 hertz as we showed earlier on. Okay, that's almost zero. And now we're looking for the second natural frequencies around 9 hertz. So again, now what's noteworthy here is that the waveforms are actually 180 degrees out of phase, so we're getting an amplitude response of a minus, and that's what we expect. You can see we're getting quite a response here. And you can hear it building up to the natural frequency. Again, it's kind of difficult to hold it. Okay, that's just slipped out there. That just happens sometimes. And I'm kind of gone beyond it there, so it was around 9. So let me just try and pick that out up again. Now we're so you can kind of hear it around there. And again, that's just below 9 hertz. Again, it's, I can't remember. You'll have calculated this, guys. So I think it's just slightly above 9. Okay, and it's kind of lost contact again. That just happens sometimes, which is tricky. But if I go beyond 9, okay, so we're kind of saying that the new natural frequency around 9 hertz, we've observed it. And if I go beyond 9, we should see that the oscillations die down. As you can see that, okay, so the system does respond at the upper and the lower natural frequency. But as you increase, so I'm going up to 10. Let's go well up here into 11. You can see what I'm doing here. Around 12 hertz here. So you're getting, you know, they're barely moving. Okay, so we're gone well beyond the natural frequency. So I think that's about it. All we need to show. It's kind of difficult enough to take measurements off the screen. We're just more observing it. Okay.